Hello students, welcome back to our video. So in the last video we discussed about the privatization and the process of privatization. So in today's video we are going to learn about the meaning of globalization and the process of globalization. So let's start with the meaning. What is globalization? Globalization means a process of countries' economic integration with the rest of the world. In short, we can say that integration means come together, like every economic world, like you know that India's economy is different, then USA's economy is different, right? So when these different countries' economy comes together, that is known as integration, or that is known as globalization. Globalization means a process of countries' economic integration. Integration means when they come together, the economy of every country, when they come together, that is known as integration with the rest of the world, with the whole world, that is known as the globalization. In globalization, the economy of the various countries. In globalization, the economy of the various countries of the world is integrated by increasing the trade in goods and services. So how the economy of the world is integrated? So by increasing the trade. Trade means export and import. By increasing the export and import in goods and services, and the movement of physical and financial capital, exchange of technology and investments between the countries, then we can say that the world economy is integrated. Like this, like the economy of the countries of the world, they integrate by like increasing the trade in goods and services, then movement of physical and financial capital, then exchange of technology and investments between the country. Like this, the world, like economy of the various countries of the world is integrated. That is known as the globalization. Now let us look at the process of globalization. Import-export policy was made simpler and easy. To integrate or to like fulfill the globalization in the world, import-export policy was made simpler and easy. Then second point is abiding. Abiding means by following the rules of freer world trade by becoming a member of World Trade Organization. Like the World Trade Organization, like anyone can become the member of World Trade Organization freely. Okay, that is the second point to integrate the globalization. Then the third point was introducing the convertibility of Indian rupee into the other currencies at market rate. Okay, then third step for globalization was introducing the convertibility Indian rupee into the other currencies at market rate to integrate or to implement the globalization. Third point was taken. Okay, then fourth point was foreign direct investment in India was increased. So foreign investment from the foreign countries was also increased. Financial collaborations with the foreign counterparts were allowed. After the globalization, the financial collaborations with the foreign counterparts were also allowed. Undue protection for Indian investors against the foreign competitions was lifted. And the last point was the social and cultural ties with other nations were encouraged by relaxations in the granting visas. Okay, so the social, you all know that the every countries have different cultural and social society, right? So these different culturals and society from the different countries were encouraged. So by giving the visas to the different countries of like to the different countries, like people living in different countries, like they get the visa so they can travel in different countries and they can share their society and culture in other countries also. So spreading the culture in different countries throughout the world was also the step towards the globalization. So this was the process of globalization. Now, next point is foreign investments in India. So we studied the three main points, liberalization, privatization and globalization. So now we are starting with the foreign investment in India. Foreign investment in India comes in two ways. So there are two types. Foreign investments in India comes in two types. First one is foreign institutional investments. In short form we can say FII. And second one is foreign direct investment, that is FDI. I know you might have heard these terms related with the foreign direct investments and foreign institutional investment. Okay, so let's start study the foreign institutional investment. What is foreign institutional investment? So when foreign companies invest fund in the financial institutions and in the bond, stock, share market in other country, it is called the foreign institutional investment or the portfolio investment. So in short, we can say that whenever any foreign companies, for example, if USA company invest into the India's financial institution in the bond, stock and in the share market, right? Then it is considered as foreign institutional investment, or we can say portfolio investment. For FII in India, for foreign institutional investment in India, investors have to register as foreign institutional investment. So if any foreign companies want to invest into the Indian market, Indian share market, then they have to first register themselves as foreign institutional investors. They can invest only up to the limit specified by the rules. So they can invest up to the limit specified in the rules. They are not directly involved in the management of the home company. They are not directly involved in the management of the home country, but they are just investing themselves, their money in our market, share market. Okay. And the third point is such investments are for a very short span of time. FII is for a very short span of time. They take the flight in and out of the country easily, and thus such investments is considered to be a risky and unstable. Okay, so FII is also kind of risky investments and unstable. Okay, so this was the meaning of foreign institutional investment. Now let us look at the meaning of foreign direct investment, FDI. When the home country invites capital by allowing foreign investors or companies to produce and sell directly in India, such investment is called the foreign direct investments. In short, this means that whenever home country means like India is home country, right? If India invites the capital by allowing the foreign investors and companies to produce and sell their products directly in India, then such investment is called foreign direct investments. Means if India allows any foreign companies to establish their manufacturing in India and then selling their products directly in India, then that is considered as foreign direct investments, FDI. In FDI, foreign companies directly set up their business in India. So in FDI, foreign companies directly they set up their whole business in India or by collaborating with the Indian companies. Got it? Got the meaning of foreign direct investment? If any foreign country set up their whole business in India or by collaborating with the Indian companies, then that is called the foreign direct investment. Whereas in FII, the foreign companies cannot set up their business in India, but they can invest into the share market only, but they cannot set up their whole business in India. That is considered as FII. And foreign direct investment is by setting up foreign companies directly set up their business in India or by collaborating with Indian companies. Okay. Now let us look at the nature of foreign direct investment. What are the characteristics of foreign direct investment? Nature, in other words, we can also say characteristics of foreign direct investment. So the first one is, it is a physical establishment, hence stable form of investment. Means physical establishment means in FDI, foreign direct investment, the foreign company set up their whole business in India. Therefore, it is considered as physical establishment, and hence it is a stable form of business or stable form of investment. Then second is, it brings machineries, materials and wealth to the home country. So as they are setting up their business in India, they bring their machineries, materials to produce the goods, and they also provide wealth to the home country. Home country means in the country in which they are setting up their business. That is considered as home country. Then third point is, it brings new technology to the country. Right? If they are setting up their business in India, therefore they would bring their own machineries, materials, then they would bring their new technology to produce the goods, right? To increase their investment or to increase their profit. So it also brings new technology to the country. And the last one is, it brings a different work culture. The culture also, like if they are setting up their business, their culture is different, right? So it is considered that it also brings a different work culture. So this was the characteristics of the foreign direct investment. So now we are going to stop here. In the next video, we will be continuing with the India's foreign trade policy. So if you have any questions or any doubts, please feel free to comment below the video. Thank you.